Hi everyone, this is your Grade 3 ELA Virtual Content Specialist, and for this video, we are creating a teacher-facing video that focuses on utilizing the protocol known as See, Think, Wonder. So the reason for this protocol is to support you with creating a mini lesson for your students to support any struggling students with the skill of inferencing. So this week, Module 7, Make a Difference, Lesson 6, you'll notice that the skill of inferencing is touched upon several times, and it's honestly touched upon many times throughout the entire curriculum of interreading, but since it is focused on many times throughout this week, we figured it would be a good review skill for struggling students. So the protocol See, Think, Wonder is a really good protocol because it is a critical viewing strategy that helps guide students of all levels, and it prompts students to slow down their thinking and simply observe before making inferences and asking questions. And you as the teacher can help them engage more deeply and analyze more thoughtfully with the text that they are reading. And since they are going to be reading a new text this week, we figured that this would be a great strategy to use with your students. I'm going to go down to slide 19 here. So today's focus question is, how do I make an inference to help me understand a text? And students make inferences constantly, but a very big issue with students is that they often cannot name the strategy that they are using. So with this routine, if it's used more often, they'll be able to name the strategy of inferencing. So the biography that we're going to be reading this week is One Plastic Bag, Aissatou Cisse, and the Recycling Women of Gambia by Miranda Paul. So the first thing I would do is I would open up a Jamboard. I think that this is just the easiest medium to use or the easiest platform to use when doing See, Think, Wonder. And you can use this whole class or you can use this in a small group session depending on which students need support with inferences. So one more thing I just wanted to show you, when you're in HMH and you want to just pull up the story really quick, if you look at the search button right here and you just type in the name of the story, One Plastic Bag, and you click search, you can just click audience student. And then if you scroll down right away, you will see the story, my book, Prepare to Read One Plastic Bag, and open. And it pops up right away. Also, if you click contents here, you can scroll to anything from the module for that week if you want to go back to anything. So when you're vetting and when you're looking at what your students are going to be reading, you have to think about the topic. So obviously One Plastic Bag and Aissatou Cisse is about recycling. So you want to probably build some background knowledge for your students, especially when you're dealing with inferencing. So when I'm doing this Jamboard, you can either use the cover of the book or the cover of the story, or you can use a picture related to recycling for your See, Think, Wonder. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to use the cover of the story. So that's just the direct jumping point that relates to our lesson. So you can just print screen this or screenshot this so you can copy and paste it into your Jamboard. So I'm just going to show you how to do that right now. And then into the Jamboard, I have just copied and pasted a See, Think, Wonder graphic organizer. And you can just go onto Google and type in See, Think, Wonder template and utilize any one that you like. So then on another page, I would put the cover of the story, One Plastic Bag. So this directly aligns with what we're doing here, which is making inferences. And you're going to introduce the biography to your students and review what a biography is with them. And then you would go to the Jamboard and show them the cover of the story. And then when you're doing this, you would lead the students through an analysis. So you would display the image, and then you would ask the students, what do you see? What details stand out? And at this stage, you're going to elicit observations and no interpretations. So this is helping students with making inferences, right? What you see. And that would be this section right here. So either the students would be writing on their Post-its themselves, or if they're not up to that, up to that level yet, or you haven't built that routine with them, you can elicit the responses. So here are some examples. I see a woman The responses will vary. And what's great about this is students of all levels will be able to access this. You can get something out of every student. I see a woman. I see a plastic bag. Get students to take a step back and really just think about what they see before jumping into anything. I see an animal. So these are just some examples. I'm not going to get too in depth with it. And this will also prompt students to also have some conversation. Then you could say to them, what do you think is going on? What makes you say that? So after posing each question, you might ask students to simply respond maybe in a journal, or you might use a think, pair, share strategy to provide the opportunity for brief paired or whole class discussions, or maybe even in a breakout room. So here you're going to ask students what you think is going on. This is really where students are making inferences, not even the wonder part. The wonder part is where students are generating questions, which is great. But this think portion right here, this is where students are going to be generating their inferences. So this is where they could start writing what they think. So if we go back to the picture, I think she is picking up the plastic bag because she wants to clean up. That could be something a student might say. I think she wants to clean up. That could be an example of something a student says. And if we go to a wonder, a student might say, I wonder why she is grabbing the plastic bag. Obviously, I am rushing through this because I'm not going to, take up too much time to say what students would say, and you want it to be authentic. So this is going to get students in the mode of stopping to think about what they see in the text and also just to generate their prior knowledge. And then this is also just a great motivation and a jumping point to, help them before they start reading the story, and as well, give them some motivation. And it also gives them enough background information to make observations. So the more information they have about a topic, the easier it is to transition to reading the story as well. So then when you go back to your slides here, you'll be able to go back to connecting the see, think, wonder to making inferences when you review how to make an inference, which is using clues from the text plus what you know to make an inference.